Okay, well, it is almost the end of the year, and let's face it, 2022 has kicked our butt just a bit.
Yo, watching out for Daddy. Hey, that's my dad.
Hey there, welcome to Aphrodaddy. Now, since it is starting to be the end of the year, I thought it would be a good idea to check in on all the parents who follow me on Instagram, just see how everyone's doing. And the response was overwhelming. Yeah, the response was overwhelmingly bad because almost everyone is struggling in some way, or at the very least feeling exhausted or tired or drained, or feeling like there is way too much anxiety going on in the world or with their own personal lives. It's a lot. But in a weird way, those responses are kinda good. Because if you're anything like me, and I think you are, if I am struggling and I feel like I'm the only one who is struggling, that makes me really worried that there's a problem with me, which creates even more anxiety. But if I know that other people are struggling too, it's almost like misery likes company a bit. I think it's just good to know that the problem isn't here, but that the problem's out there and that we're all experiencing it. Now, does that solve all our problems? Obviously not. But like I said, it is good to know that it's not because you're not smart enough or capable enough or powerful enough to deal with the masses amounts of stuff that parents have to go through. But in reflecting on all of those responses, I have two thoughts. Firstly, come on people, one last push. We can do this. It's one last month of the year and then we are into 2023 where, granted, it all starts over again, but we can get to the end of the year. I believe in us. And then my second thought is that actually this last push, this last time of the year can actually be the hardest period for a lot of people. I mean, you think about it, there's the issue around finances because everyone's spending all this money on holidays and presents. And if you have had a tough year, finances is an issue and it's tough to have to deal with that now. Then it's great that the festive season is also a time for family, but if you have drama or issues in your family, then that can bring up all sorts of other anxiety as well, which you might not have to deal with other parts of the year, or you can ignore during the other parts of the year, but you put all those people in the same place again and it starts to bubble up. And then finally, just having kids not going to school for like 6 to 8 weeks is great. It's great to have your kids at home with you, and it's so good that they are excited for summer holidays, but entertaining children for weeks on end while you also have to work, because a lot of us don't get leave from work for all of that period, becomes this complicated, exhausting mess to try and work out. So yes, for a lot of us, December festive period is a really fantastic time, and it's a time for joy and family and recuperation, and for a lot of us, it's just exhausting and expensive. There is actually a third thought that I had about dealing with this time of the year, and that is don't believe the lying Instagram posts, because there'll be people on Instagram who will be posting beautiful photos of their Christmas experience with beautiful trees and their family all in the same pajamas. Don't believe that their lives are that perfect, okay? No one can maintain that aesthetic when you have children and living in this country. I mean, just the fact that they're wearing thick, woolly pajamas, yes, they're matching, but it's the middle of summer, so it tells you a lot about how much reality is on Instagram. And yes, the corner with the Christmas tree might look beautiful, or the dining room area might look beautiful, but if you could pivot that camera 180 degrees, you would see how messy the rest of the house is. Now, you all know who you are. You do this every year. And that's fine, do your thing. But it is up to the rest of us to remember that what we see on social media, especially on Instagram and in the parenting blogging sphere, is not reality. Or at least not the complete picture of people's lives. Those people's lives are not much better than yours in reality. So I don't like to end my videos on a negative point, so I'll end it on a positive one. Now, even though most of the responses I got from my question on Instagram was people telling me that they were really struggling, one of the responses really caught my eye, and it was this one, a really positive one about someone saying that they're doing okay. And the reason why that caught my eye was because this was sent to me by John Keavy. He's a brilliant writer, and you should follow him on Instagram because he does very cool things and he writes amazing works. But what's really interesting about this is that John Keavy has recently become a dad. And what's great about that is that even though he has had sleepless nights, and even though we know that the first few weeks and months of being a dad is really interesting and really difficult, he has found the joy in what is going on in his life right now. And I would like to take a page out of his book, because even with all of the struggle, even with all of the things that we are dealing with, there are still moments and places to find just a shred of joy. So I'm going to try to do that more often during this festive season, and I hope you can too. Thank you so much to everyone who responded on Instagram. I really appreciate the fact that you're willing to interact with me and be honest and open in that way. Thank you also for watching this video. I will catch you soon. Aphrodaddy out.
You're watching Aphrodaddy. Hey, that's my dad.